All right, I think we are live. We'll check on all of the different screens. But welcome. Today, we're going to be discussing why a one-page marketing plan will lead you to seven figures, multi-seven figures, and whether you're a CMO and you're in charge of a multi-billion-dollar company or you're in a startup trying to get to 6, 7 figures, either way, it doesn't matter. Whether you're trying to grow millions, billions, or 10K, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the principles are all the same. So I, of course, have Debbie and Tanya here. Hey, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. I wonder, I don't see, it's because I have the title on it, doesn't have our name. So I'll take the title off so you can see who's on the screen. You have me, you have Deb, you have Tanya, and we have people that are watching across a bunch of different platforms. So welcome. And, depending on which platform you're on, we don't always get to see that you're watching. So typically it only shows us who's watching on like Facebook. So just note that if you want to comment, we probably can see your comments, but we can't see your comments on all platforms. So if you want to ask a question, we will go to the specific platform after and we'll answer those questions if we don't get to them. But we would love to know who you are and where you are watching from right now, so that we can know where people are tuning in from. So all right, so let's dig in. So marketing there's two important things in a business, and they both start with P. Anybody know?
Both start with P. Profit.
Well, yeah, that's important, but actually running the business.
People and processes.
Yeah, right. And so part of processes is marketing. So I always look at, if you want to build a company, the two most expensive things in a company is marketing and people. And so those are really the two areas that you want to look at. So we've mastered the marketing. Now we're trying to master the people part of it. And that's when you start growing into that 8-9 figure mark, that's when you start flipping to really focusing on the people side of it. So today we're going to talk about the marketing side of the house and why it's important to not have a marketing plan that is more than just one page. I love being simple in general, and I love, Corey said, people and profits. Yes, absolutely.
Corey and I think alike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, profit is important, of course, but you can't have profit if you don't have good marketing. And you can't have profit if you don't have good processes, right? So to me, profit comes from good processes and good people. But so a lot of times we want to complicate things. We always think we need this elaborate plan. Like I just got off a consulting call, and I feel like I just sounded like I was from Boston. My call.
Consulting call.
We're on a call. So anyway, so I just got off a call and they're looking for a fractional CMO and marketing department, which is what we do. So we come in as a fractional CMO and a fractional marketing department to help you with the two most important things, right? So processes, people, automation, sales, that whole 9 yards. And they were talking about, they don't have a CRM. This is like a multi 8-figure company. They don't have a CRM. They have no processes. They have no marketing strategy. And this is very common in, 8, 9-figure brands. When I went and I worked at, when I sold my business in 2014 and went into corporate, I worked for an organization that was doing $500 million a year and they had no marketing plan. So this is something that is very, very common. And the very first marketing plan that I ever did for a corporate, I made like a 50-page marketing plan because I just thought that that's what you needed to do. And what I found from that experience is we never used it. And one of my bosses that to this day, it's probably the biggest thing I ever learned from her. She said, Alexa, you never show up to an executive meeting with more than one page. And she made me master the one pager. And it changed my whole life. It changed my career because I was like, you could put a whole plan in one page, like get out of town. Like that is not possible. And so, so what it allowed me to do is take a big, wide, broad concept and be able to put the destination where we're heading, but then in addition to that, also be able to drill down the tactics to get there, right? So the most important thing is the goal, the objective, and the tactics. Those are the three main things of a marketing plan. So now, moving forward, when I moved on to other roles and I started working as a consultant for other companies, I was a fractional CMO at Catterton Partners. That's where I had my largest exit. And we flipped an asset in less than 24 months. That one-page marketing plan changed me because now I was able to talk to, like, Catterton Partners is one of the largest private equity companies in the world. They own Build-A-Bear, Hardware Restoration, Olive Garden. They have huge brands. So their executives don't want, 50-page marketing plans. But the truth is having such a big marketing plan, you're not going to execute it anyway. Like, who's going to go back and read that? So that's where I'm just giving the background of where the one-page marketing plan came in, why it's important, and why I feel it's important. And we're going to dig into what the main parts of a really good marketing plan are, and how you can make your one-page marketing plan. So Tanya, Deb, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, you can't effectively market a business without creating a useful marketing plan, right? And I love the one pager and the idea of the one pager. I mean, you literally need the strategy. You need that roadmap to organize, to execute, to track your marketing. I mean, if you're not tracking your marketing, so if you don't have a marketing plan, you're at risk for having, a disjointed approach when you think about, the messages that you're putting across on social media. You can create brand confusion, right? Inconsistency in your messaging. And you can be having stagnant growth, right? Where you don't even know, what's happening. So I think it's important, to have that marketing plan 100%. So that's one thing. And, when we're going to dive into the marketing plan, we're going to really talk about what the one pager can do for you.
Well, Corey's just stole my line. She put the word simplicity. Oh, look at that. Is that how it shows on? You're muted, Alexa? Is that how it shows? Like on the?
Yeah, I'm just trying new things.
I know. I thought you guys left for a second. I'm like, let me just keep going.
I'm just trying,
This is like
this
is cool.
Live. Yeah,
you can be the tall one.
Brady Bunch right now.
The Brady Bunch.
Listen, I love being in the middle of you two. Like, it's like
keep us apart. Oh, it's this way. Keep us apart.
Yeah, no, I like what Corey said. Like, it's simplicity, right? I'm a big believer. Simple is elegant, and elegant is simple. And like, we have clients like in passion and in other parts of our coaching that can overthink. They overthink it. They're like, and they get caught up in the technicalities and by modification, which is our trademarked philosophy, says that no, you got to get something out there. But that marries up with what Tanya said. You got to have a plan. You can't just because that's the other thing. People just start throwing stuff out there, and then their feed starts to look, the brand loses itself inside the chaos, and it's important that it's consistent. So we say consistency is key. And the same goes for messaging and look and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what Robert said, which I love. If you can't get it or anything into one page, is too complicated in just words. 100%. That's our exact point.
Love that, Robert.
Drop the mic, Robert. Good job, man. So we completely agree. I mean, everything I do, even business plans, I put in one pages now. Like if I go get a loan from a bank, I'm not doing a 50-page business plan. I'm doing a one-page business plan, and I have no problems getting a loan. So everybody, again, thinks you need these elaborate, like I got even investors. They don't want, do you know how many times I've done a full-blown like Luna when we were going for our funding? I did this whole beautiful presentation, and they're like, can you just draft a one-pager of where you're heading and how you're going to get there? Like these multi-million and billionaires don't have time to read a 25-page PowerPoint. They just want the highlights, right? And what they're really looking for is, can they trust you? Is the goal practical? How crowded is the industry? And what makes you different? What's going to make this different, right? So I think to Robert's point, like anything you do should be in a one pager, like anything, like even think about our social media strategies that we do. It's in a one pager. Like everything we do is literally in a one pager, to the point where like, and it's not easy to do this, by the way. It's not easy to create a one pager at all. Because it's, even as like a writer, it's easy to write blogs. It's hard to write short form content. How do you compact a thought? And that's why Twitter is so challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you compact such a lengthy thought into like 1 or 2 sentences?
It drives me crazy. Twitter drives me nuts.
Have you noticed, by the way, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever seen what a marriage license looks like and how big it is?
One page.
It's one page. It's
One
just,
page.
right? Like I'm going to enter
That's
into
the
the
biggest contract of your life. If they can fit that into one page, I mean,
That is a really good point.
that is like a piece of cake. That's a really good analogy. I like that.
And by the way, divorce papers are a lot longer.
Yeah, it gets a lot more complicated after that.
So yeah, I mean, if you could do that on one page, you should be able to do anything on one page. That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's a really good point. So, all right, let's talk about what goes in this plan, right? So I like to break it into 2 main parts. The first part is the big picture. Like, where are you headed? We always talk, don't laugh at me, Debbie. Debbie's always laughing at me. She's so mean.
I enjoy you. What's wrong with that?
It's like
What do you want me to do? An eye roll? Like,
like part 1.
no, I would never do that. I think you're great. I love how real you are. This is why you're so.
I wish I had one of those echophones. The big picture.
I mean, I probably could screw up my microphone to just do it. Yeah. Big picture.
Sunday.
Are you guys learning something? That's the most important thing here. What's up, Sky? Oh, we do get YouTube messages. There we go. What's up, Sky?
Yeah.
All right. Let's focus. All right. So part 1 of me is the big picture. This is with everything. If you guys right now, and Sammy, and I've been drilling you with this, right? Like if you don't know where the hell you're going, you're not going to get there. Like if you're going on vacation, don't you know where you're going? What, are you just going to drive? I mean, I guess you could, and maybe you'll have fun, but like you don't really know where you're going. Maybe you do like where you're going and maybe you don't, right?
You're just going to go in circles. You're just going to
Yeah.
go.
Circles. Like this is going to be you.
Turn left, turn right.
Right? So in everything you do, if you right now do not have a vision statement, I don't care if your company's worth 30,000 or 300,000. If you don't have a vision statement that's up on your wall of what you want, like our vision statement is we want to impact 100 entrepreneurs every single year. Like that's what we want to do that. And how we do that, we have different offers that help that, because we think that impact is exponential. If we help just 100 people, I don't need to help thousands. I need to help 100. I help 100. What does that do? That's exponential. They're going to help 5 people, 10 people, 100 people. And then the impact is exponential. I'd rather help 100 people and really help them achieve their goals than be able to go out and say, oh, I helped thousands of people. No, like I feel more confident with the 400 people that we have helped in the last 3 years than all these other people that have these like stupid little $7 courses that really don't help them. They're like, oh, I've helped 42,627 people in the last 24 months. Like, and really, like, have they, you know, in their $7 course? Like, probably not. So for me, I rather be more intentional with who we help, so that we can help impact 100 people that then impact exponentially, right? So we know what the vision is. And guess what? Deb's on board, Tiny's on board, and we've had people that weren't on board and we kicked their ass out. Like, because at the end of the day, if you're not on board, and we actually ask in a questionnaire to all of our staff, like, what is your goal? And you can have a personal goal and a business goal, but if your business goal doesn't align with ours, and if you don't see the vision of where we're heading, then it's just not the right fit. So that means you're probably a short-term person. Now, I've had people that were completely in the vision, but weren't the right people, right? So you have to have both. They have to be the right person for your organization, but have to see and have the same vision that you have. So before you can go anywhere in business, before you can build any marketing plan, you have to have the vision of where you're heading.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've seen it, right? Like when people aren't clear and they don't have the clarity of where they're headed, they literally spin in place. They sit and spin, and it's like they get frustrated, they get overwhelmed, and they wonder why they're not getting anywhere. And it's like, well, where are you trying to get to? Like, you can't get
And
where
your
you're
vision can change.
What?
Like your vision can change. It's like if you know you want to go to the beach, but you don't really know where on the beach. All right, just put the destination to the beach, and as you get closer, you can figure it out. But at least you have some sort of point that you're going after.
Well, and the other thing is too, like we've learned that a lot of people think they know where they want to go, but then when they find out what the roadmap is to get there, they're like, "Whoa, I'm not sure that's what I want." And then they have to, kind of at that moment say, "All right, let's reset the map," because what it's going to take to get you there, you might not be willing to do, or it might not be how you want to live and work.
That's a good point. So many people are like, I want a 7-8 figure business, and I actually wrote. I wrote a caption this morning because I'm finally using the JT Fox photos that I never used for like 2 years. And one of them was with Phil Jackson, which he coached Michael Jordan, which was so cool. Like to be able to like be next to, like, I mean, it was just like the GOAT of all basketball, right? It was so freaking cool. So jealous JT got to actually interview him. But and one of the things that I really learned from him, like listening to him, was he's really thinking about all the pieces. And that's what this marketing plan is. It's like thinking through all the different pieces. And even like when you're building a team, it's really important to think about the different pieces that you need, but you won't know the different pieces you need if you don't build the strategy. And that's why it's really important. You need to have the framework and the big picture of where you're heading, but also what do you hope? Like for me, it's what kind of feeling do you want? Like so many people want to win an NBA championship. So many people want a 7-figure business, but they don't understand what it takes. They think that they can just come in. Like how many people come to our program and they're like, I want 10K a month. All right, well, you can go to another program that will teach you how to build 10K a month. And then within 3 months, you're going to be at zero again, because you're not learning how to build a business. And a lot of times those people, they don't learn the fundamentals of how to build a brand, how to build sustainability, how to build profitability. And a lot of those people, they learn how to make quick money, but they don't know how to build a business. Building a business is hard. It's not easy. And like he told the story about Kobe Bryant and how, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were both really, really hardworking, but Kobe Bryant was always the first to be at the gym in the morning and the last to leave every single time. And in fact, when the Olympics came, I don't know if you guys heard this story, but like the first year, they kind of thought it was like a shoe-in, and they all went out partying all night. And then Kobe was the only one that was working out at night, not going out, who took it very seriously. And so the first day, Kobe was working out by himself, and he was leaving the gym when all the guys were coming back from like the bars and stuff. And then the next day, one guy stayed back and worked out with him. Then the next day, 3 stayed back. And by the time you were done, the whole team was staying back. And that's leadership. But he had a vision, and he knew what it took to win the Olympics, right? So that's the thing, is like you said, Deb, like most people are like, oh, I want $1 million business, but they have no clue what it takes. Absolutely zero.
And I think social media has something to do with that. I think that there's this.
No, you can have a Lambo just sitting in there.
Well, and
It's all facades.
That's why the other day, and it wasn't his fault. I wasn't angry at him, but one of our new video editors were like, Lex, you need to show all your wealth off. And I'm like, I could, but like, that's not who I am. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit there and show my Mercedes and, my multi-million-dollar home. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like,
well, it's also not going to attract who we want to work with either.
Yeah. Right. So it's like the fake, like, gurus who show, like, I mean, look at like a Grant Cardone, like he showcases all his stuff, and he's probably going to jail, like, so like, I don't know. Do you want to do that, or,
That's like a 1-sentence marketing plan. Be a baller and attract broke people.
Be a baller and then get a ball and a chain on your ankle.
All right. Let's finally talk about what actually goes in a 1-page marketing plan. All right. So part 1, big picture. I know we went on like a rampage about the vision, but that's how important it is. I want to hear in the comments, and even people that are in the actual live studio, because we have a few people. I'll bring you guys up in a little bit to ask questions. But in the private chat, I want you to tell me, what's your vision? So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to read some of these. I want to hear, what is your vision? And I'm going to actually create a banner. So what is your vision for your company? Okay. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to answer that question in the comments. I'm going to pull some of them up. And that includes you, Sammy, and Natasha, and other folks. So everybody, I want you to write it, and then we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, so part one, big picture, right? So number one, you have to know who's your audience, who you're going after. So many people have no idea who their audience is. So again, today I'm talking to an 8-figure company, and they're like, well, we have these different services, and I think they're different marketing plans. I said, yeah, they're completely different people that you're going after. So of course the strategy is going to be different for each. And it's not that they didn't know, they knew it. It's more of who has the time when you're running a company to go ahead and to build these separate plans. The same goes with one of our clients is a local hospital that we work with. They have very different constituents. They're hiring. That's one that we have to market to. They have philanthropy. That's another, and families is another, and government is another. Like, there's so many different avenues to this marketing plan that we're building out for them. And so we have to have different meetings with different people in the organization to build that plan. So first you have to understand, who is your target audience? For us, we have several different audiences, and we've created different programs and offers for each. Our first is obviously startups and people that haven't hit 6 figures yet. A lot of times these are people that are a couple years or brand new in business. That's where our lower group coaching comes in handy, because we're going to very affordably teach you the things you need to know in order to succeed. Some people want to speed that process up, which is why they hire the one-on-one coaching, which then that speeds the process up. And some people can't afford that, right? So that's why we offer that. Where then we have our Thynk Millions program, which it's for that multi-6-figure entrepreneur trying to get to 7 or multi-7 figures. That's going to be a very different program. We're talking people, we're talking processes, efficiency, profit. That's where profit comes in, right? So it's a very different program. Program A, and the people we're going after in passion, are people that want to know the basics, right? That need to understand how to run a business. Where the second one, they already know how to make money. They already kind of know sales. They already know how to do lead gen, but now they're looking to get to the next level. And then we have our bigger, multi-7, 8, 9-figure organizations that have us come in as consultants. And we either come in as a fractional CMO service, or we come in as a complete marketing department. And we do all their marketing, their advertising, their content creation, PR, we do everything. So 3 very different audiences, 3 very different marketing plans, 3 very different strategies. So that's the first thing you need to know, is who they are. What do they worry about? Right? I could tell you that people we come in as fractional CMOs and fractional marketing departments, they're worrying about something very different than a new entrepreneur. New entrepreneur is worried, like, can I pay my bills? When am I going to start making money? Like, do I have what it takes? Can I really do this? Right? That's what they're worried about. Where a CMO or CEO of an 8, 9-figure brand, they're thinking, all right, how can I sustain my revenue? How can I find new markets? How can I build new offers? How can I expand our revenue? Like, what's the cost per lead and the cost per acquisition? How can I get that down? Because advertising has gone through the roof, because most advertising companies don't know how to do marketing anymore with the changes, right? Where we've actually lowered our cost per lead and cost per acquisition. 99% of advertising agencies have gone the opposite way, because they haven't figured out you have to hire people that keep up with the trends, and that's why people hire us, right? And then what do they hope for? Like, what's their desire? Because that's going to change how you sell to them, and that's also going to change how you market to them and what your offer is. So I
want to pause and point something out for everyone who's listening to Alexa right now. I want you to notice, when it came to the audience, when it came to their concerns, their hopes, she was very specific. And too often I notice new entrepreneurs, or even people who have been in business, they're wondering, why they're not getting traction. They're not being specific, right, with their audience. They're not really understanding or even being specific with their concerns or their hopes. So, I would revisit, if you have a plan, and say, am I being specific enough? Because the more specific you can get and really understanding your audience and their needs and their hopes and, everything that they're looking for, the better that your offer when you are building out and your marketing plan is going to be. They're going to feel like you're speaking to them. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. And to add to that, I think what you're pointing to is perfect, because here's the other thing. Like, so many of these new entrepreneurs know, quote unquote, know what their prospective client needs, but they don't sell them what they want. They sell them what they need. And if the client doesn't know they need that or aren't thinking that, that's why you really do have to narrow and drill down into, wait a second. Yeah, you're going to give them what they need, but they don't know they need that necessarily. They think they need this or they want this. That's what you got to sell them. That's what you got to market. And that's tough to figure out.
What they need is new hires and processes, but they want is profitability. Cool. So we're going to market that we're going to increase the profitability, and how, that doesn't matter. We're going to
how the sausage is made half the time doesn't even matter. I mean, I'm going to add to this because your audience, so broadly, your audience is like, listen to how broad it was. Internally in our marketing plan, in addition to going after startups and new entrepreneurs, we internally know the exact type of person we're looking for. So for example, we were on Clubhouse yesterday and somebody wrote, we were talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, with something about hope and, having the right mindset to get to the next level. And somebody wrote it like in the chat, I hope to get out of my own way to scale my business finally. We spoke to that person like a year ago and literally gave them the exact roadmap on how to get to the next level, and they didn't want to invest in themselves. And now a year later, guess what? They're still sitting in the same fucking spot that they were a year ago. So instead of making action and actually moving forward in their business and investing in themselves, they are still sitting in the same spot a year later. Do you know how much money it cost her to not hire us? A lot. So the reason why I bring this up is because now we're very intentional with not only, okay, we want new entrepreneurs, we want multi-six-figure entrepreneurs, but we also have a type of person we want. We want somebody that's hardworking, that understands the value of coaching and consulting, that is willing to put the work in, is willing to listen, and is coachable, and the list goes on. So in addition to who
demographic, where they live.
Yeah. So like it goes deeper. So as Tanya said, I was very specific. But even further, I mean, we have even further criteria. I mean, we turned so many the other day. So it's funny because another person came back, Tanya, that had said they wanted us.
They always come back.
They always come back. Right,
They always come back.
And so this person had somebody else write me and vouch for them, like, oh, please work with them. They really want to work with you. And if you remember, we had turned them away because they showed 10 minutes late to a meeting, then no-showed Tanya and told her they forgot about the meeting. And then we gave them another chance and they met with us. And long story short, we said, no, like if you can't show up on time now, you're going to be a terrible client. And they were all over the place and, kind of know-it-alls. And now they're coming back and now they have other people trying to vouch for them. And the point is, we'll never take that client on, ever. It's not worth the money. We don't need the money. Like, keep your own money. So it's really important, a big part of this. I want to take some of these and talk about them because I think it's really important to drill down. So I'm gonna start with Sky. So his vision, the Content Factory, create 100 pieces of content daily. So here's my problem with this vision, and I hope you're still listening, Sky. So right, yes, I'm still listening. My problem with this is you don't say who your audience is in this, right? Is it entrepreneurs? Is it businesses? Is it is it service-based? Is it product-based? You need to put in your vision who. We help.
What type of content? There's so many different types.
Yeah, like, is it all types of content? Is it multi-platform content? So I want you to drill deeper into this a little bit further rather than just being so broad-based, because that's going to help your marketing plan really drill down on what the actual offer is, okay? I'm excited about this because this is something we could really help with because we've built multiple businesses in this arena. But target audience is people transitioning from hands-on field work to management. And her vision is building an online college for construction management online. I've never built an online college before, guys. It's never been part of what I've done. So Corey, we can help you with this. We've done this numerous times. And we're doing it right now for Rochester Institute of Technology, which is one of the top institutions in the world for technology. But anyway, so your vision needs to be a little bit more specific, right? So one, it doesn't really matter that it's online so much. What matters is why. Like, why is this the vision, right? So think about this. You're going to have a vision and a mission. Your mission is how you're going to do it. How is probably the online college part. The why is why this is important. and who you're targeting. And the reason why it's important is because like mine is we want to help 100 entrepreneurs reach their levels to create infinite impact, right? So we know who we're helping, how many, it's quantitative, and it's kind of a goal that I can get people behind. So now the team is like, all right, we're at 56, let's go. Like we got more to go, we have more to help. And now within that 56, we have 3 people that are struggling. We need to put special attention because we need them to cross the finish line, right? So it's important that your vision is something that people can get behind. Like build an online college for construction management online isn't something that anybody can get really behind. It has to be more emotional, more, what's the word I'm looking for, guys?
Stronger why? Like why?
Yeah.
I would keep digging deeper. Why? Like why? And yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It has to engage the imagination of the person that it fits with them.
Like what's the emotional benefit at the end of the day that someone, who's going to come to your online college for construction management, what are they going to get? Is it time freedom? Is it, what is it like emotionally that you can pull out there to really paint that vision?
Yeah, exactly. So with that, I think you have a little bit more work to go here, but I like where you're going, and we actually have 2 clients in this field. I have one that's actually doing it, so maybe I could connect you with her, Corey. If you DM me, I'll connect you with her. She's doing a very, very similar thing, and she's great. So, all right, so let's keep going. Miss Sammy, you're up. So I want to build people to get their passports so they can start getting out of their comfort zones and start fearless journey. So here's my problem with this. How do you plan on making money doing this? Because anybody can just go get a passport. It's not hard. So I like your vision, but it's not about getting a passport, right? To me, that's maybe part of like an offer where you help them, but I don't even know if I see that as an offer. What I think it's really what your vision is you want to get people out of their comfort zone. So I want to help, I like putting numbers on things. That's just, you don't have to put numbers. I just personally like, I help who, right? The average person, women, like entrepreneurs, I help 20-year-olds, whoever it is, get out of their comfort zone to start their fearless journey for what? Fearless journey of what? Is it work? Is it personal? Do you help them create a fearless journey and travel the world while making money? Remember, there's 4 areas that people pay for. Money and wealth, health, fitness, mental mindset, somewhat, physical, absolutely. Like I pay thousands of dollars to still be fat. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but I continue to keep paying to try to not be fat, and I keep investing in myself, and it's not working. But I'll eventually find it something that works. But I invest in it. 3 is relationships. People will pay for you to fix their relationships or give them a network. Think how many people pay like the JT Foxes of the world just to be in his network of his thousands of people. People pay for that stuff, right? People go to conferences. They pay for you to fix their relationships. That's why marriage counselors make a lot of money, because there's a lot of effed up marriages in this world. So people, they'll fix relationships. And the 4th is experience, with which you kind of have the experience here in a way, but fearless doesn't really describe an experience for me, if that makes sense. So I like where you're going with it, but it still needs to be fine-tuned. And again, you can't really build a 1-page marketing plan until you have some sort of idea of a destination of where you're heading. Any other feedback?
No, I think that's spot on. Because the problem with this is there's a million directions you could go with this statement and your marketing, and you may spend a lot of time, money, and energy going the wrong direction, or sharing a message that doesn't resonate and wondering why, like it's not converting or it's not selling. So, and that happens a lot. We dig into the message, the offer, and the avatar, who's the ideal client you're talking to. It's usually one of those 3 things that is the issue. And you can't message if you're not clear, right? And you can't talk to the right person if you don't know who the right person is. And you can't make the right offer if you're not aware of what it is they want, which is the things you mentioned, the relationships, the health, the wealth, and, just getting better. And there's those 4 things that I heard it one time said a little more crudely, and they put 2 in one bucket. Somebody said that people will pay for one of 3 things: to get made, to get paid, or to get laid. I didn't make that up. But
It is the 3 things I said, Plus,
Yeah.
I add experiences. I think JT's the one that added the experience a while ago, and I really like that. And I got that from him.
Yeah.
But I like that. Made, paid, or get laid.
True.
Oh God! I hope you guys are walking away learning a lot today.
This is high level, very high level.
Very high level conversation here.
Stuff here. You are gonna
Gotta
steal
make it
seven
fun.
figures tomorrow. That's for sure. All right, Sky. So you have two businesses, I guess. Vision, VA agency. We build digital teams for business owners so they can work like a real boss. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
I like that.
You build digital teams for business. Well, yeah, you got to kind of fix that, but for entrepreneurs so they can work like a real boss.
I love that last part.
Yeah, it's kind of it's fun, right?
It's a play off of virtual versus real. You know.
Yeah, Sky has done tremendous finding me VAs. If anybody needs a VA, reach out to Sky or DM me, and I'll put you in contact. He's great at finding VAs. I always joke with him. So he was a video editor when I found him. And then he actually found another video editor who is like the best video editor I've ever had in my entire life. He's amazing. And I always laugh at Sky. I said, you're almost too good that you trained him to be better than you.
He's like the personal shopper.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Yeah.
That's like what you want. So that was what my post was about yesterday. Like, so going with Phil Jackson, but part of that post was like, you want to find people and hire people that are better than you. You can't be nervous about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm betting that every player that played for him played better than he could play. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like, I'm sure, he wasn't slam dunking. Well, actually, he was really tall, so he probably was.
I can almost guarantee you that none of Tiger Woods' golf coaches can beat him at golf.
Yeah.
And yet he, relies on them. So yeah, you can't be afraid of your team being better than you. You want them to be better than you in their area of expertise. That's why they're there.
Yeah. And I think too, like, can I reply? Oh, I don't know how to reply. Oops. Oh, I guess it replies to all of them. So she said the four are wealth, relationships, health, and experience. Natasha, if you want me to post yours, just post it on one of the lives so it could go up on the screen. And if you guys, Sammy, any of you want to come up and ask questions, just put it in the private chat and I'll bring you guys up on the live. So we'll do the last 10 minutes. So, okay, Corey, you have it. To open opportunities from physical work into a management position that uses their industry knowledge. Not quite clear on to open. It's almost too wordy. I don't even know what you do.
And I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
To open opportunities. Just those three words right there, like at the start, like from physical work into a management position. So it's like going from being on the
labor collar to white collar. Yeah. I think, I don't know, but it still needs some work, Corey, because if we don't understand it, I mean, we've got
we're pretty smart.
I only have
I'm doing Passionate CEO so we can help you, girl.
Yeah. Corey, we'll reach out to you. All right. I'm going to move on until Natasha adds hers into one of the other chats. All right. So your audience, we went through that a lot. And then your product or service. So what's the why behind your product? So again, it goes into why it's important. So with Mighty Yum, for example, we said, who are we going after? We're going after moms and working parents that need healthy options on the go. What do they worry about? Providing healthy food for their kids and teaching them how to eat healthy, especially when they're busy. They don't have the time to think about it. They just need healthy. What do they hope for? They hope that they can provide healthy food options for their kid. So what's the why behind? It's not just making money and profit, but really it's focusing on obesity and teaching these kids and providing options for the parents, but it's also about teaching these kids about healthy habits, right? So that's an important piece of our marketing plan because that's going to dictate the content that we put out. So that's why that why is important.
Well, think about that too. Promoting a plant-based food product is a completely different message than building healthy nutrition habits. That's a completely different. And if you weren't clear on that, you'd either miss it or leave it out or, so, I mean, that's a whole different thing. And there's a lot of brands that spend a lot of money trying to figure that out. And it doesn't have to be that complicated. That's why the one-page marketing plan is so smart. You don't have to overdo the details, but you do have to get really clear.
Ooh,
I'm
this
just
is a good
smiling
one.
because as we were on this call, we had 2 really major contracts signed. And I was like, oh, like all smiling. This is great.
I like this one from the link. It says LinkedIn user. I don't know who it is.
Oh, it's Tosh.
Oh, Tash. It's a good.
Tosh
one.
doesn't know how to use LinkedIn correctly.
LinkedIn user. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Who is that?
It's good though.
We still love you, Tosh. No, it's her. I restore confidence in overwhelmed and exhausted women to reclaim their time and increase their productivity through innovative and personalized solutions. So to me, that's a mission statement, right? That's missing the vision statement. So this is a perfect mission statement. I don't know that I would change anything. I think it's great.
It's a great mission
There's
statement.
still the vision, right? Like, and it's probably something to do with confidence, right? It's probably, I want to help exhausted women feel confident in their own skin, like I do now, or something like that. That vision has to be something that, like, you have to think about this when you hire a team and you build an office, what's going on the wall?
Yeah, it's even more than confidence. I feel like you're giving them back their vitality. Like you're literally giving them back their life. Like they're exhausted, they're defeated, they have no confidence. So, it could be like, help 1,000 women reclaim their vitality and, live out the life that they're meant to, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think being an entrepreneur or not, to me, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. That's
Dude,
why
mom or entrepreneur, we're exhausted.
It doesn't matter. Like, I'm more exhausted from being a mom than an entrepreneur. If I'm hiring
all the time,
it's
harder. It's harder to be a mom.
Dude, I feel like I'm a crappy mom every day. Like I have more self-confidence issues as a mom than I do as an entrepreneur. Like I have no confidence sometimes. You guys know I talk to you about it all the time. It's like, because it's like work, and then I have people writing me annoying things at annoying hours.
We're going to take care of that.
Third child, and I still haven't figured it out yet. So it's trial and error on a human. So it's
third time's a charm. The third one will turn out great.
I'm the third one of y'all. So see, there's the 2 of you, and then I came along. So
yeah, there you go. You're like the third child. So, the point is that what I think the most important thing is with what you're doing is this is a great mission statement. Mission is how you're going to do it. Mission is almost kind of what you're going to put in a marketing plan or a business plan. Your vision is that overarching, like, why the hell am I doing this? Like,
don't you think vision is sort of like, I think of it like as a result of what you're doing, when mission is accomplished, here's what the world will look like as a result of the work you did. Maybe, the world of the people that you're working in. Like,
we want to impact infinitely. The only way I could do that is if I empower other people to make impact on other people. And so that's why our vision is so strong. Our mission is we do this through coaching and consulting services, right? And I mean, we could go into more like our philosophy and market by modification. I'm kind of summarizing, but that's how we do it. We leverage our proprietary marketing by modification, which I actually trademarked something else, which I think you're going to really like. But I think that, like, for me, it's important to understand the difference between what your vision is and your mission, right? So as we're going, we're realizing our initial company was named Marketing by Modification, which is pretty cool. But what we realized is moving forward and helping people, a lot of times it's not marketing help they need. Like, and this is at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 figures. We've come in as the marketing experts and had to build a CRM and now become technologists. We've come in to a 5-figure business thinking they need marketing sales help, and they end up having confidence and mindset issues. We've come into 8-figure businesses that think they need marketing help, but really their processes need help, right? So we've claimed, and now listen to the new trademark that I put in. It's called the power of modification. So now it's no longer marketing by modification. It's the power of modification. And so to me, it's our mission is leveraging our power by modification philosophy. We're helping people scale their business to the next level through one-on-one group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and consulting services, right? So that's just like an example to explain, even to show you how our stuff has evolved too.
I wonder if for like Natasha there, the mission being fairly clear, I wonder if the vision is something like, defeating the traditional imbalance for the lives of women that's handed down generationally to stop the cycle. Because we learn that we have to be everything to everyone all the time. And we haven't
we are what we were dealt with. I mean, if we were what we were dealt with, God, we would be in a corner crying, like depressed and miserable. I mean,
right.
Like, my poor mom saw like her uncle got shot in the head and like she had a crazy life. Like if we sat here and we're like, well, we were handed down by generations of depression and oppression poverty. And poverty. Like,
right. And that's how you have that infinite impact, because where she interrupts that at this level gets handed down to the next. And that's how it grows over time.
Yeah. So I want to hear your whys now. So everybody listening, I'm going to put a little banner up. What is your why?
You're getting really fancy with these.
I am. I'm starting to get really good. Let's switch it
Good.
up. Woo!
Woo! My God, my head is so big.
All right, dance party. All right.
Oh my God.
Let's keep moving on. Marketing plan. All right, everybody. I want to hear your why. So as we keep moving, your audience, who they are, what do they worry about, what do they hope for, what's the why behind your product?
Let's talk about our why. Tell them what our why is. No entrepreneur left behind.
I have to put up with him. Oh, I think I taught you well, Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha, it's good.
That's good. Yeah, look, I chat GPT everything. Ask them. I'm like, chat GPT, create my YouTube strategy for XYZ. Anyway, that was pretty funny. I want to share. So I'm not asking you what your product offer is. We'll get to that. What I want to know is the why, because that needs to be embedded. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. They want to do business with a company, an organization that has a strong why, that has a vision, and that their values align with you. So in order to, like, if you don't curse, you probably won't do well with us. I know it sounds simple, but
are you saying cursing is our why?
No, but I'm just saying,
brand personality and identity.
If somebody has a value that's like, I don't like cursing. Well, like every other word, I'm Italian and Cuban. Every other word is F this and like it's literally every other word.
No, it's passion.
But I love this because like one of my favorite lines that we use is no entrepreneur left behind. That points to our why, which is that what makes us different is we're a group of entrepreneurs who've come together, kind of pay it forward and share what we've learned and what we know and what we're still learning and finding out as we build multiple businesses, all of us. Like that's what differentiates us. We're not coaches coaching coaches on how to coach other coaches. We're entrepreneurs and business people who have come together to then coach other entrepreneurs. So that's, and that's such a great like tagline. No entrepreneur left behind is a product of being really clear on the one-page marketing plan of what our why is.
Natasha put in the private chat, I signed up for the F-bombs and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But no, I mean, it's important because your values have to align. And to the no entrepreneur left behind, as long as you don't give up on us, we'll never give up on you. And like Tasha's a perfect example of that. Like in the beginning, she struggled. She couldn't figure it out. Now she's freaking rocking and rolling. And it took her a little bit longer to get the momentum, but she never gave up on our direction and us. And we never gave up on her. And now look at her. Another one was Sharon. Sharon's another one that it took her 4 to 5 months to get going. And finally, like, I mean, when she met us, she was making like $30,000, barely $2,000 a month. And now she's almost well over 2. So like another perfect example. You don't give up on us. We're never going to give up on you. Ever.
Elizabeth, look at Elizabeth. And it wasn't even
Elizabeth, like in 30 days made like, she went from like 128,000 to $500,000. And now she's going to be well over, her goal is 1.5 million this year, which is freaking mind blowing. Like we've been working with her for a little over a year, and she was making 150 something thousand. And now she's going to be going after 1.5 million. That's just insane. That's insane. Probably one of our quickest success stories, but I mean, brands that we've coached, not brands that we've made. I mean, brands that we've made has gone like 0 to 9 figures in 6 months. But anyway, so, you know, I feel like the most important thing that you guys all have to understand is a lot of times your marketing isn't even marketing. So part one, again, just to recap, it's really what's your core messaging, what's your product and service, what's the why behind it, what's your audience. And so that is such an important piece. That's the first page. So when I say one pager, it's back and front, just to be clear. All right. So the front of the page is the big picture. The back of the page is, all right, now that you have the big picture and where you want to go, how the F are you going to get there? Like, that's what that back page, that's the marketing action. So that's setting specific goals. So many of you have no goals, right? Like, look at Tosh, you weren't keeping track of anything and it was a hot mess. As soon as I kept drilling into you to keep track and to keep your numbers, look at the big difference. And that's what matters. We think we're working, we think things are working, but if you're not keeping track of your numbers, if you don't have goals, how the hell do you know where you're headed? Like, but there were several students that were multi 6-figure students, they had no goals. And then as soon as I remember, this was, it was last year. We had a student join in like January, and I'm like, where are your goals for the year? I don't have them. All right, let's create yearly, quarterly, monthly goals. March comes, it might've been early April, and we were looking at her goals, and she's like, oh, I'm not on track to hit my goals. I'm like, how would you have known that before when we didn't have goals? And she was like, I wouldn't. And she's another one that tripled her business. And so it's as simple as you have to set specific marketing goals. You have to look at, like, right now, our cost per lead for our coaching company is $10. So we know we have that goal. So now we have to look at the marketplace. Okay, is it practical for us to maintain that, reduce that, or is it going to have to increase? We have to now look at the market and what's going on, but at least we have a goal. All right, if your revenue, our goal this year is 15 million. And when Deb and I first did our goal sheet, guess what? It didn't add up to 15 million. And so we had to either, you can make more money in several different ways. You increase your prices, you get more out of the clients you have and offer more services, or you decrease your expenses. That's literally the 3 ways you can make more profit and more revenue. So we had to redo everything, and we had to shift our pricing around. We had to, that's, you know, now it's way more expensive to work with us now than it was before we did our goal sheet, right? Because we know where we're headed, we know what we're worth. So if you don't know the goals, it's kind of like, we'll go back to the destination. If you're trying to get to the beach and you don't have a GPS, it's going to be hard to get there. But if you don't have little signs like, oh, okay, the gas station, yeah, I'm on the right track. Oh, okay, yeah, that's, you know, Mulberry Street. All right, I'm on the right track. You need little points that kind of check off, like, okay, I'm going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And that's what those quarterly and monthly goals are, to help you. You don't find out December 20th that you're not going to hit your goals.
No, that shareholders wouldn't appreciate that. Shareholders being your family, your partner, you know, whatever. But the other thing too that we learned is we could figure out on that goal sheet kind of where all the resources, you know, where we're making the most margin too, and being really clear, like what's going to cost us the most time, money, or energy to produce. Based on that level of investment into that service delivery, what's the return on it? So we know that there's some things that we can dial up and the costs don't go up proportionally with it. So the margin gets higher as we increase the numbers in that category. And then others, you get more clients in this category and your expenses go up to match it. You know, that's helpful to know, because you got to know what your resource capabilities are.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up, because we actually have a team meeting in 1 minute. So if one of you can write in the chat, let them know we'll be 5 minutes late, because we have lots of engagement here. And if anybody has questions, feel free to pop a question in the chat. That's fine. Let's put Sammy's why up. My why is traveling, documenting, storytelling, figuring out your why, and having the sense of home with a community. So it's a little bit of mindset. Like, that's what it really is. It's like mindset and making somebody maybe build a life they appreciate. Because I know that there are people, like, my wife and I are moving to Florida because we just like, for a number of different reasons. I mean, one, to be closer to my mother, and my father just passed, but also like New York is cold and people are mean, and like we kind of saw an opportunity to like be around different people and to try to change our life a little, right? So I think it's important to understand where people are and how to build a better life. And it took us years. It literally took, this bad situation for us to finally look in the mirror and go, God, like I've got to make a change. Right. So I love that. So to wrap this up, it's the goals and then it's your action plan. So how will you achieve this? What are the 2 to 5 channels you're going to use, and then break that down. If it's email marketing and organic and ads, all right, break down each of those, what the goals are for those, how many leads you need of each, right? If you have prior data, you can get your conversion rates, you can get all that. You should be able to back into what you should be able to do revenue wise based on the plan that you have. And then what's your timeline? Is there a start date, end date? And then how do you know if you reached your goal? Right. And it's not as easy as just saying, oh, I make my income or my revenue. Right. There's so much more that goes into it. You'll reach your goal if you reach your lead goal, if you hit your conversion goal, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got to expand a little bit more, and that's it. That's literally what you need. So we do have a tool for this, and we do give away this 1-page marketing plan. So if you DM me, or if you write in the comments 1-page marketing plan, I can go ahead and give you this. It's easier if you DM me though. And we can give you this tool. It's literally a 1-pager in a Google Doc. You'll go ahead and copy it to your own drive, and then you'll use that as a framework for yourself in order to scale your business. So that's what we got. If there's any questions, we'll stick around.
Yeah, I say don't reinvent the wheel. Get the plan. Like, it's silly to try to.
It's free. I mean, we're just gonna give it away because that's just what we do. And then Debbie yells at me.
I'm like, really? Like this live. Like, the people pay to have this kind of.
Mm-hmm. People pay a lot of money for this stuff.
Yeah. Price is going up as we sit here.
Yeah, as we've sat here, Deb has increased the price by 1,000. All right. Anything else, Deb, Tanya, before we wrap this up and go do our team meeting?
I just can't overemphasize really like how if they took nothing else away from the lives we do, the masterclasses, this to me is one of the most valuable gold nuggets. This is literally, like you said, even at the level of a Catterton Partners or a level of a private equity. I've done pitches and it's 1 page, and you don't go to an executive with anything more than that, and you don't need more than that. So take the time to get this from us, download it, fill it out, start there. Like, don't overthink it, don't overdo it. Decide quickly and act fast. Those are the 2 things. And this is a perfect place to start. If you're confused about social media, you're confused about your messaging, you're confused about all that stuff, start here, then get on a call with us and let us help you kind of sort that out. I mean, this is what we do. So don't miss the opportunity. It's January. Get on it. It's January. This is fun. Right. Can we go back to the Brady Bunch thing before we sign off?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Brady
Page marketing plan.
1-page marketing plan. We need a jingle.
1-page marketing plan. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
On that note, I'm ending this broadcast now. Thanks, everybody, and see you